The book of Judges, the seventh book of the Bible, is located in the Old Testament and comes after the book of Joshua and before the book of Ruth. It is part of the Deuteronomistic history genre, along with Joshua, 1 and 2 Samuel, and 1 and 2 Kings. Around 200 years after the Israelites arrived in the Promised Land, the book of Judges covers the period before the establishment of the monarchy. A judge is a person chosen by God to rule and save Israel. Throughout the narrative, the Israelites repeatedly sin, are persecuted by foreign powers, and cry out to God for help. In response, God sends a judge to deliver them. Samuel, the last judge and prophet, is traditionally credited with writing the book of Judges. Many scholars believe he authored, or at least compiled and edited it, because he was a prominent prophet and leader in Israel. The book concludes with the establishment of the monarchy, which aligns with Samuel's life and mission. However, since the book spans a significant time period of about 200 years, some scholars speculate it may have been written or compiled by multiple authors over time. This uncertainty raises questions about its precise authorship, and later editors may have added or modified content to provide theological and historical context, especially during or after the Babylonian exile. The narrative structure and theological themes of the book of Judges reveal that the author was deeply troubled by Israel's spiritual decline and the need for covenant faithfulness and leadership. Some contemporary scholars suggest the book might have been written by a prophetic or priestly figure seeking to comprehend Israel's past in light of its relationship with God. In summary, while Samuel is often credited with writing it, the true authorship remains unclear. The cycle of sin and salvation. The book of Judges portrays a recurring cycle. The Israelites turn away from God, become idolatrous and immoral, are oppressed by their enemies, and cry out for help. In response, God raises a judge to save them. Once the judge dies, the cycle repeats. This cycle underscores the importance of God's leadership for Israel. Second, judge leadership. The judges in this book are not merely legal authorities. They are also military leaders chosen by God to deliver Israel from its adversaries. Notable judges such as Deborah, Gideon, and Samson rose to leadership during challenging times. 3. Spiritual decline. The worship of regional gods and the Israelites' frequent disobedience to God's commandments led to their downfall and oppression by neighboring nations. The book illustrates a period of moral degradation and social chaos, exemplified by the well-known verse in Judges 21:25, "In those days there was no king in Israel. Everyone did what was right in his own eyes." This highlights the instability and lack of central authority. Deborah. Judges 4-5 tells the story of Deborah, a remarkable judge who successfully led Israel in battle against the Canaanites. She stands out as one of the few female judges, known for her leadership skills and wisdom. 5. Gideon. Judges 6-8 features Gideon, a reluctant leader who initially doubted his abilities. However, with God's supernatural assistance, he led Israel to victory over the Midianites, demonstrating that God empowers even the weak. 6th, Samson. In Judges 13-16, Samson is portrayed as a figure of great strength whose life is filled with tragedy and flaws. Despite his shortcomings and impulsive decisions, God used him to defeat Israel's enemies, particularly the Philistines. Conclusion. The book of Judges concludes on a grim note, reflecting Israel's moral decay, illustrated by two disturbing narratives: the civil war among the Israelite tribes, Judges 19-21, and the near annihilation of the tribe of Benjamin. These accounts highlight the disintegration of social and spiritual order. Overall, takeaway. The Book of Judges serves as a cautionary tale against spiritual complacency and disobedience to God's will. It emphasizes the importance of leadership and adherence to God's covenant. While the cyclical pattern in Judges illustrates God's love and patience, it also warns of the consequences of ignoring His instructions.